Work. That's what. All right. Oh, let's go. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. I had to get some lighting going on. Hey, everybody. I gotta fix my hair and look all cute. Hey, everybody. So today we are going to tackle one of my very favorite subjects, because this is where I get so much pushback and everyone becomes a biochemist when I bring up the subject of apple cider vinegar. And so I just wanted to tackle this issue from a standpoint of biochemical, reaction in the body. I love when you talk to someone that has zero scientific background and they can quote Dr. Oz to a T on how he says how nutritious and beneficial apple cider vinegar is. I want to first start off by saying that apple cider vinegar cures nothing. It may have some value. I don't personally see any value in apple cider vinegar. And hey, Tim. And so once I break down some things for you today, I think we are going to go ahead and put the final nail in the coffin on the apple cider vinegar. And I would hope that everyone on here receives this knowledge and finally breaks free from the bondage of media propaganda in certain things. I want you to understand something. The ACV community has a very, 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 very strategic and great advertising strategy for apple cider vinegar. So they have invested millions of dollars into one-sided research results, and they have invested a very large amount of money into making sure that they are seen in a very positive light. And if you can't understand what that means, maybe you should talk to me one-on-one. But they have really funded a lot of research projects so that research companies can come out and say that their products are good and people that should take them. And that's not good, because we don't want to ever take the advice or recommendation from any type of scientific research companies that are getting paid by the person they're researching, because they're not going to say something negative, period. Why would you? If you're getting $4 million to make this company look good, why would you come out and say your product sucks and it's killing people? You wouldn't. You would find all the benefits you can in that. You would highlight it, and then they would have a marketing team come in and say the positive things and not mention the negative things. And that's what has happened in the industry of the apple cider vinegar as well. So let's talk about what is apple cider vinegar, how is it made, what does it do, what's in it, and why did Dr. Sebi, first of all, say stay away from it, and why am I on YouTube Live on a beautiful Sabbath day telling you to stay away from it? Okay, so I have a lot of notes because I wanted to make sure I covered everything. And you know how I get derailed and start talking about all kind of stuff. So I decided to keep some notes today so I can keep myself focused. So apple cider vinegar is created, first of all, by combining apples and letting them begin the rotting process. And then they add yeast. Why is yeast so important? The yeast, when you combine it with the apples that are rotting or fermenting, what it does is the yeast causes a chemical reaction that converts the sugar into alcohol. Okay, so you're going from a product that has a really great sugar content and is converting over to alcohol in the body. And I'm sure everyone knows what alcohol is. Yes, the alcohol that you get drunk off of. It converts it over to alcohol. And then they add a bacteria to it, and that's where it ferments and creates what we call acetic acid. Okay? Let's talk about acetic acid for a second, and then we're going to move on, because I really want you to understand what is actually in this apple cider vinegar. Acetic acid is one of the main ingredients in vinegar, and acetic acid is not really good for our bodies, especially in concentrated form. Over time, acetic acid will corrode your body. It is extremely harmful to your ear, nose, and throat, which is why people that normally take apple cider vinegar over a long period of time end up having chronic issues, either in their ear, nose, or throat, or all of the above. One of the biggest side effects and complaints from people that consume apple cider vinegar on a consistent basis is throat issues. Okay. Let me look at my little notes here, because I'm trying to stay on task, because I do not want to start wandering all over the place for you guys. So, acetic acid, okay? One of the things that happens when you are consuming acetic acid, and it's a side effect of ingesting the apple cider vinegar, right? It actually slows down your digestion. And this is what people believe. They think that the apple cider vinegar is actually helping them or curing their diabetes and things, but it's not. There are some things that the apple cider vinegar does that kind of makes you think like you're getting the results you want, but you're not. And in the case of the diabetes, this is why the blood sugars do go down, but this is what it's doing, okay? It's slowing down your digestion. And what happens is it actually makes the food sit in your stomach longer, because it's affecting your nerves in your stomach. And over a period of time of you doing this, yes, it will immediately drop your blood sugar, because you are not getting stuff going into your small intestine and in your bloodstream as fast. But what ends up happening, because it's sitting in your stomach too long, okay, it's sitting in your stomach too long digesting. So what ends up happening once it is emptied out into the small intestine, the nutritional absorption, or the minerals, have severely dropped by then. You're not getting the proper nutritional value. Most of the nutritional value that you would have gotten from the food is gone. It's been depleted, it's been destroyed. Because in a normal person, when you ingest a food into your stomach, you have already started the process of digesting and breaking down the food on the molecular level in your mouth with your saliva. It goes down into your stomach. Your hydrochloric acid heats up and then breaks it down on the molecular level, and then it empties out into your small intestine. The minerals are absorbed through the intestinal wall. Well, in this case, the ACV, or apple cider vinegar, actually stops the process of it dropping into your small intestine. So at this point, it's sitting in your stomach, fermenting, because that's basically what it's doing. It's sitting in your stomach. So the nutritional value is dropping as it's sitting in your stomach. Another issue that it's causing is causing nerve damage in your stomach. And for most people, the technical term for this is called gastroparesis. And it is a technical term. A lot of diabetics end up getting this problem. Basically, you damage the nerves in your stomach, and your stomach is not able to empty out like it's supposed to. So apple cider vinegar causes gastroparesis over time. Okay, so it by messing with the nerves and making the food sit in the stomach longer and longer, it starts to damage the nerves. So over a period of time, gastroparesis does occur in someone where it may not have occurred without the apple cider vinegar. Okay, so that in itself, to me, is enough to say, hey, stay away from this crap. But we're going to keep going because I want to make sure that you fully understand what you're taking here. So it's not reversing your diabetes, okay? Your diabetes is a problem with your pancreas. There's two issues going on when you're diabetic, type 2 diabetic, okay? Your pancreas either is not producing enough insulin to break down the sugars that you are putting in your body, A, or your body, remember we talked last time about receptors, the lock and the key. So your insulin that your pancreas produces is a key, and it has to go into a lock, which is one of your receptors. So a lot of times insulin resistance is built up because the key can't go into the lock, okay? Because you have overworked and overexposed your receptors to insulin so bad from a poor diet that now it's hard for the key to get into the lock, okay? And so that's called insulin resistance. So those are the two main things in diabetics. You have insulin resistance and you have low insulin production, okay? And in type 1, your insulin, the little cells that produce insulin have actually expired and they haven't replicated, okay? So you're not producing insulin at all. Okay, so let's think about this for a minute. The apple cider vinegar is not solving the problem of your insulin resistance, nor is it solving the problem of your pancreas not producing enough insulin. What it's doing is putting a Band-Aid on a gun wound, okay? We need to stop looking for quick fixes. Seriously. And this is an example of people looking for quick fixes to a problem that has to have a due diligence to heal itself. Okay? So in this instance, we're messing ourselves up even more. You're diabetic. You want something that's going to drop your blood sugars pretty quick. How about change your diet? How about that? And I'm not being facetious. I'm being serious. I used to be diabetic. My pancreas is fully healed. And how about let's change your diet? Let's get on a plant-based diet. Let's get exercising, because that's the way that you reverse insulin resistance is through exercise. And dieting and exercise together will get your pancreas back kicking out insulin the way it's supposed to. If you change your diet to a plant-based diet and back off of the meat and the dairy, because the meat and the dairy is what corrodes your pancreas. It really messes with your pancreas. Okay, so I think that in itself we can kind of close the book on and say, okay, it's done from there. But no, we're gonna keep moving. High levels of acetic acid. Excuse me. High levels of acetic acid, which is what you're ingesting when you drink apple cider vinegar or ingesting any vinegars. Actually, you get high levels of acetic acid. And another thing that it really does in your body is it forces out the potassium in your body. You say, well, what's the big deal with potassium? Okay, well, let's understand something. There's a thing called a sodium potassium pump in your head, okay, in your brain. Your brain balances all of the sodium and potassium, and it has to be at equilibrium for your brain to operate properly, okay? It's called a sodium potassium pump, and you can look it up online. Everything I'm saying is 100% scientific. It's things that you can look online. I have no reason to lie. I don't get on the internet lying to kick it. These are really honest things that you need to understand. Okay, and so the apple cider vinegar binds to and pulls out almost all of your potassium, and it really throws off your body. And what happens when you have low potassium in your body? You start having issues with your blood pressure dropping too low. And this is why people that have blood pressure problems think that the apple cider vinegar is actually helping their blood pressure. It's not. It's not at all. Your blood pressure problems are coming from your heart having to squeeze too hard to get that blood all the way through your body. Now remember this, the purpose of your heart pushing the blood all over your body is to oxygenate your body, okay? Is to put oxygen in all of your organs. Now remember this, sometimes you have had such a poor diet that your blood, first of all, could be too thick It could be too thick. There's a few different reasons why your blood can be too thick, but the biggest one is that you're retaining too much water. So you're making it compact. You're like think of it like a water balloon, okay? These are how your vessels and your veins and things are. Now, if you have too much water in the water balloon, it gets so tight it can't move, okay? And that's one of the reasons why a lot of times when you go to the doctor and you have a blood pressure problem, they will give you diuretics, or they will give you like hydrochlorothiazide or Lasix. It's also called furosemide. They'll give you those. Those are water pills. Hi, Joyce. Those are water pills. And what it does is it makes you get rid of a lot of this excess water so that your blood can start moving better, moving more efficiently. Because as compact as it is, the heart has to work 5 times harder to push that blood around. Okay? Your blood's too thick. Other things that might be happening to make your blood pressure too high outside of your diet, because it is 100% your diet. So I want that understood first of all. You're not getting away from diet with me. You need to change your diet. You should not be ingesting iodized salt. The only salt you should be ingesting is sea salt. Okay? Sea salt. Yes, Kimberly. She said apple cider vinegar sent her to the ER. I believe it. So you should not even be ingesting a regular salt and things with sodium in it. You shouldn't be ingesting. And that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't be buying prepackaged foods. You shouldn't be buying fast food, restaurant foods, especially if you're prone to blood pressure issues, because all of that has sodium chloride through the roof. And you're probably taking in 50 times the amount of sodium you should be taking in on a daily basis. So sodium in itself makes you retain water, okay? And it goes back again to you compacting those blood vessels and making your blood so thick it's hardly able to move. And so when I took the apple cider vinegar, it made me so sick. I know it. So when your body's trying to push this blood, it's really thick and it's hard to go through it. So it has to put pressure. That's what it's called, blood pressure, because your heart has to put pressure on your vessels to get that thing moving, get the blood moving around so it can oxygenate, okay? So that's another thing that happens in blood pressure. Okay, a few other things that happen. You could have a hormone. It's a hormone in your body, and I'm not gonna go all into. I can go real deep into medicine and stuff because I have all that knowledge, but there are some different things. There's a hormone that could be throwing your blood vessels, causing your blood vessels to restrict. Okay, that's why they have blood pressure medicines that are called vasodilators. And they'll help loosen up the constriction in the blood vessels. And then, of course, there is blockages, okay, that can cause you have blood pressure issues. So these are all different things that can cause blood pressure issues in the body, okay? The apple cider vinegar is not addressing any of those issues. And it's giving you a false sense of health because it is dropping your blood pressure, because it's drawing out your potassium. And what's going to end up happening is it's going to cause heart issues. Okay, in your case, because one of the biggest side effects of you having low potassium is you start having the rhythm in your heart thrown off. So you start having heart palpitations and your heart stops beating on a rhythm. Okay, and I've seen people that had to develop, taking something over such a period of time and end up developing and had to get on a pacemaker or, other things going on with their heart because their heart won't beat in rhythm and things of that nature anymore. Okay, and of course, low potassium always causes muscle degeneration. That's why people that have potassium issues always having muscle spasms and different things like that. All right, so we need to look at all this because the apple cider vinegar is causing a problem that you don't even understand it's causing, and you think it's healing you, and it's not. Okay, so why don't we do things the right way? Change our diet, number one, change our diet and exercise, and more than likely get our little attitudes under control too, because your emotions really can spike your blood pressure up a little too high as well. Okay, so we want to look at all of those things. Apple cider vinegar is very interesting in the fact that It interacts also with laxatives. It interacts with diuretics, and it interacts with insulin. That's why people shouldn't be trying to take these apple cider vinegar if they are diabetic or if they have blood pressure problems, and they definitely shouldn't be trying to take apple cider vinegar if they have gastrointestinal problems or problems having bowel movements or problems, with digestion. You should not be taking apple cider vinegar to try to solve any of those problems, because it's going to exacerbate them. That's a big word. It's going to make them worse, okay? It's going to make the problem worse. It's going to give you a false sense of it helping, but it's going to produce or open doors to other problems very soon, okay? Another thing that apple cider vinegar actually does is it actually reduces the bone mineral density in your body. What does that mean? It's one of the biggest issues besides dairy in causing osteoporosis. Dairy causes bone loss, and so does apple cider vinegar. And I'll tell you why. This is a very interesting thing that is never taught. I don't ever hear natural medicine practitioners teach this stuff, and I don't understand why. What happens when you drink cow milk or any other animal milk, it actually goes into the body, and the body recognizes it as an acid. Okay, and that's the same thing with the apple cider vinegar. The body recognizes it as an acid. And what ends up happening is your body has to neutralize that acid in the blood. And what it does to neutralize the acid is it leaches calcium from your bones. So it takes calcium from your bones, pushes it into your bloodstream to neutralize that acid. Well, what ends up happening, because you're nutritionally deficient, okay, so your body, once it pushes that stuff in, it'll neutralize it. Once it's done doing that, your bones can't reabsorb it because you don't have the proper nutrition for your bones to reabsorb that. So it ends up floating around and causing kidney stones and gallstones and different things like that within your blood. But in the interim, now your bone has less calcium than it's supposed to, and now your bones are getting brittle. And then you go to the doctor. He never talks about nutrition. Let me put you on a prescription. The prescriptions don't work. And the problem with osteoporosis is getting much worse in this nation. The older people get, the larger the population of people that are aging, the more and more bone problems people are having. And the reasons being is because people have promoted the drinking of dairy so much in this country. They put milk in everything. Yuck. I really am disgusted by the, when I converted over and actually started reading packages. Milk is in everything. And it's like, why did you even put milk in this product? Milk didn't even need to go in this product. You go look on the back of a potato chip. I'm not even talking about the flavor ones. You go look on the back of a regular chip, and we soaked the chip in milk. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you putting milk in this product, right? I think it's really ridiculous, the massive amounts of poison they put in the foods. Anyway, I'm going back to the notes. I said I was going to stay on task today. So another thing that apple cider vinegar does is it actually cuts off the glucose supply to the brain, which is another reason why diabetics believe that they have found a cure in apple cider vinegar. Eureka! My blood sugar levels are going down. No, they're not. No, they're not. But what's going to end up happening is that your pancreas, since you haven't changed your eating habits either, and you're supposed to be eating all this vinegar, once you get to another point, a pinnacle in your life, your pancreas probably is going to completely give out, and your kidneys are going to go too. Just keeping it real. There is no shortcut to getting healthy. You have to change your diet, exercise, do herbal cleansings. There is no other way to get healthy. You can play around with this apple cider vinegar thinking it's giving you some type of health benefit, but it is not. It is putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. So, I want to make sure I stuck to my notes. The second thing that is in apple cider vinegar that needs to be mentioned is another acid. So it has more than one acid. It also has citric acid in it. And citric acid has some side effects as well. Okay, citric acid has muscle corrosion. So citric acid breaks down the muscles. Citric acid really messes with the mind. So a lot of times you see people with too much citric acid exposure, they have a lot of mood changes, mental issues. A lot of swelling comes with exposure to citric acid. They even have chronic weight gain. So people have issues with gaining and losing weight with citric acid. And if you ever notice, people that take apple cider vinegar for weight loss never really lose a substantial amount of weight anyway. And when they do stop taking it, they blow up like a blow up doll. So it really doesn't help. Citric acid also causes heart palpitations, black and bloody stools, and citric acid causes seizures. Not a good combination. So you think about this for a minute. We have citric acid and we have acetic acid all in one spoonful of apple cider vinegar that you're drinking, with all of these side effects to it. And then you have the people that want to get on the internet acting like they're the biochemist of the year. Oh, well, when you eat apple cider vinegar, it goes in your system and it converts to alkaline. Yeah, okay. How about those studies were endorsed and backed by the apple cider vinegar community, first of all? Let's just keep it real for a minute, okay? Let's keep it real for a minute. First of all, there is no vinegar that goes in your system and converts over to being alkaline. And since apple cider vinegar is a form of alcohol, you're trying to tell me that alcohol, hardcore liquor, some Ciroc, some Patron, you're going to drink that and it's going to go in your system and be alkaline and nutritionally beneficial? Let's stop playing games with Stephanie here, okay? That stuff goes in your system. It causes all kind of problems. It wreaks havoc on your system, and it gives you false belief that you are correcting a problem, when in fact you're creating more problems. It doesn't alkaline anything. And even if it did, by any stroke of imagination, ever do go in the system and alkaline something, I could care less, because of all the side effects and all the issues that it's causing that you have no idea is causing. I still would pass. But it's not alkalining in your system. I've seen all the reports that say it is, and all of them that I found were backed and paid for and sponsored by ACV communities, especially that Bragg's has put in millions upon millions of dollars to have scientific studies come out and say their products are good. So you can all miss me with that. I don't play them games. So apple cider vinegar also binds to minerals. Yeah, vinegar is a form of alcohol. Vinegar is a fermentation process. And alcohol, you remember, alcohol is a fermentation process. All of it is fermentation. What is fermentation? Fermentation is just the fruit. The fruit sits there and breaks down. You put sugar in. For alcohol, different wines, you would just have it sit with sugar, and it ferments that way. And then the hardcore alcohols, you use yeast, like they said. And then the vinegar itself, what changes the vinegar? They actually add bacteria. So it's all alcohol. And you have to remember that all of this is alcohol, and it's not beneficial. You know, we shouldn't be drinking alcohol. Alcohol is pure poison to our body, and so is vinegar. You know, these are all derivatives of each other, and this is why I say that it's pure hogwash when people get on the internet. You know, I did a post this morning, you know, just educating people, and it's always one person that speaks up. Well, I want scientific research because I saw where it said that it alkalines going into your stomach and this and that. No. First of all, no. First of all, it doesn't say it alkalines in your stomach. It claims that when you digest apple cider vinegar, that once it goes in your bloodstream, it's alkaline, where there is no such thing. No such thing. And it's not happening. It's a lie. And, I can't reiterate enough that people need to stop believing everything they see on Dr. Oz, and start really looking at things, because I'll tell you one thing for sure. If these medical research labs were so concerned about people's health, they'd be telling more people about sarsaparilla root as a way to reverse iron deficiency anemia, or they'd be telling people more about Damiana to reverse erectile dysfunction. It's just different things that they would be telling the public if they were really concerned. So, you have to understand that this is all about profit. Unfortunately, we live in a nation that really is profit driven, and they are not concerned about the long-term effects of different things on populations, because they are concerned about their profit. And it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I'm just here to tell you the truth. You can either utilize the truth or not, but I'm just going to give it to you. God holds me responsible for giving you the truth. I give you the truth, and we keep it moving. Okay, so we've dealt with all of the issues with the apple cider vinegar. I also wanted to just talk a little bit about these commercial laxatives. I get a lot of people come to me with chronic constipation issues. They have gotten to the point where they can't use the bathroom. They only can use the bathroom 3 times a week, 2 times a week, once a week. And one of the first things I find out is that they were using all of these laxatives, citrate of magnesium, all kind of stuff. But the citrate of magnesium, when I'm drinking that Epsom salt, different things like that. You guys shouldn't be using that stuff to flush your system. It pulls all of the mineral balance out of your body. Okay? You should not be doing that. You should not be using citrate of magnesium. Do you understand what you're ingesting here? You're ingesting a big old pile of salt. And what happens is you're really dehydrating your body, and your body has to push water into your intestine to get rid of that stuff. And that's how you get to end up moving, your bowels, because it has to push so much water, but you're dehydrating your body. You are seriously cleaning out your body at the cost of having your body hydrated. And your body can't function without the proper balance of water. So then you're going around for the next 3 weeks trying to rehydrate yourself. And you don't even know. A lot of times we don't even know when we're dehydrated, So you don't figure out you're dehydrated until you're passing out, or you're having dizzy spells, or some other, entity of that nature. So I really implore people, stop using all of this stuff that you don't even understand or have any idea what it's doing to your body. If you have issues where you're not going to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a day, you need to be talking to me so that I can show you how you can get your bowels moving the proper way without depleting all of your minerals in your body. And it really is a nutritional issue a lot of times. It really is. So I would implore you to do that, and stay away from these colonics. You should not be having anything shot up your rear. You are throwing off the bacterial colonies in your intestine. Your intestine has to have a certain level of bacteria. The bacteria are there. They eat some of the fecal matter. They break it down further. They help keep things moving. And you all coming up in there flushing it out with a colonic. And most colonics are not even necessary. Now, I will say, if you have severe impactation, and it's to the point where it's just really thick like clay, a colonic may be useful. It may be useful in getting things moving, but the colonic still is only going to go so far, because it only can do the bottom part of your large intestine. Excuse me. It only can do the bottom part of your large intestine. It can't get the whole intestine. So you still are going to have to go back to herbs. So It is what it is. But I would say, if you aren't a person that suffers from like a severe impactation or an emergency situation, I would stay away from colonics as well. And I would stick with the herbs and working with the herbs. There are a few people that I've had that had constipation to the point where we had to do 2 or 3 colon cleanses. Yeah, to get that stuff out. Because and I make them strong. I make the colon cleansers strong. And I still have people that have come back to me and be like, that colon cleanse didn't do nothing. And I'd be like, dang, what's stuck in you? But it just is what it is. People come after they haven't had bowel movements they haven't had bowel problems, solved their bowel problems for years, and that stuff has been piling up and sitting there. So it's going to take a while to get it all out. So I've worked with people, and I've had people that it took me months to finally get their bowels, get their intestine cleaned out, first of all, and then get their bowels to start being semi-regular. So it's a process. Sometimes it's a process sometimes, but it's doable. It's most definitely doable. Oh my goodness, I think I need a nap. So that was some of the things that I really wanted to talk about today, was just to break down the whole theory of the apple cider vinegar, because I don't want you guys to be deceived. The whole point of the whole Dr. CB methodology really is not to deny people foods. And I know food is a very touchy subject with people. You think people get mad about politics or hot topics like abortion or gay rights and stuff like that. People get mad about their food. I'm very vocal about a lot of issues, but I'm telling you, when it comes to the food issue, people will fight you tooth and nail, and they really will. They will go for your jugular. They'll go for your jugular. I'm serious. And you tell somebody apple cider vinegar, you shouldn't be using apple cider vinegar, and they going nuts. You should not be putting that on your food. It is absorbing. That acetic acid is absorbing into your food. I would definitely recommend you using something else. What I use is lime juice, and it works very well. Lime juice is very strong as well, but it's far more nutritious in value, and it's not, even though limes and citrus fruit is slightly acidic, it still is not disruptive to the body. It still has nutritional value. So I would say use that instead. The apple cider vinegar is not good for the body. Did anybody have any questions? Because I'm done rambling about the apple cider vinegar. You guys I'm really just really pushing, because it really is not. This thing here, there are so many other things that you can be using that are far more beneficial than ACV. For weight loss, you could be drinking chickweed tea. Chickweed tea drops weight so fast. You could be taking shots of African bird pepper and lime juice in the morning. You talk about getting your blood pumping. That stuff right there, first of all, it thins your blood out. So it helps with people with heart issues and high blood pressure issues. It is super spicy. So, anybody that want to brave that, you beware. It is super spicy. But when I tell you, that stuff gets in there and it dissolves cholesterol. Natalie, you can have a consult with me, inbox me once we end this live, so that we can go forward and schedule a consultation. Is getting a colonoscopy good? My doctor keeps pushing me to get one. I am not against medical testing. Colonoscopies are looking for polyps and tumors in your colon, and so I definitely am for it. I would say be careful, because the prep stuff that they give you to clean your colon out, it's no good. No good in my opinion anyway. It's pure sodium. So I would say that's the only downfall of the colonoscopy, is they want you to take that stuff that's going to dehydrate you and flush you out. But, I'm for the colonoscopy. Go up in there and look and see and make sure there's nothing going on in there, that we need to be concerned about. So I forget what I was saying. I need that. Yeah. So um somebody was asking, oh, the consult. So yeah, inbox me once we end this live and we can sit down and do a consultation. I sometimes forget when I'm over here teaching everyone that, you know, it's not just people that know me that see these videos. So yes, I do consultations. I am a natural medicine practitioner. I do help people to naturally. We lost the sound. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I am a natural medicine practitioner. I do consultations, and I do work with all chronic conditions. I specialize in diabetic. That was one of the first things I started working with because my whole family used to be plagued with it. So I have a lot of expertise in diabetics issues, and I am going into morbid obesity issues now. So that's what I'm working with now, is helping people that are morbidly obese. I am going to be in 2019 working with special populations of obesity, people that are 400, 500, 600, 700 pounds. That's going to be one of my areas that I'm going to be working with, because there are special health issues that come along with you being that obese. Okay, so I'm going to be working more with people in that area. I am going to have controlled groups working with people that are smaller than that as well, that still have obesity issues that need to be worked with. So we're going to be doing a lot of work with weight loss and weight management, physically, spiritually, and emotionally in 2019. So you guys can be on the lookout for that, because I'm going to be doing a group study. I like to call them group case studies. I'm going to be doing a group case study in 2019 with people with weight problems, because we are going to start tackling these weight issues and getting free. It's time to break free from this stuff. You know, food is definitely a drug. And for some of us, it's detrimental. You know, it's detrimental, and it's sad because food is something that we can't do without. You know, unfortunately, not unlike the drug addict who can actually isolate themselves from drugs and just get totally away from it. We can't do that. We don't have that option. We don't have the option like they do, you know, so we still have to eat. So that's crazy, because imagine any other addiction where you know, you have the addiction, but you can't stop taking the drug. You have to learn how to take the drug in moderation. You know, it's crazy. It's a crazy addiction to have, but we're going to work on this together. I'm going to start on a larger scale, teaching some of the things that God helped me learn and walk me through to get over my food addiction and to get down to the weight I am. And I am still going. So I'm very happy and proud of that. But that's something, 10 pounds is a milestone for somebody that's in a food addict. I'm being serious. And one of the things that I just simply cannot stand is when skinny people that have never had weight problems or food addiction, they say to a fat person, well, all you got to do is stop eating and you can lose weight. First of all, if it was that easy for someone to get over an addiction, we wouldn't have so many issues in this nation. Okay? So we're going to stop playing games. We're going to stop playing games with people, okay, and stop being so undermining and so inconsiderate to people that are suffering, you know. And although someone that has a food addiction and that's, you know, morbidly obese, although they are doing that to themselves, the same can go for an alcoholic or a drug addict or a sex addict or any type of addict. They're all abusing themselves. It's about learning why you're abusing yourself first and foremost, and learning how to break free. Okay. So, I'm really starting to get on this, no judgy thing, you know, with people. I just can't stand it. I'm serious. I cannot stand that. And I found in this lifestyle that we're in, this alkaline lifestyle, there are so many judgmental, skinny people. It is. And when I first came into this lifestyle, I was already a herbalist. But I didn't do a full practice because I had a severe weight problem. I was in the 400s. And what would you consider for digestion problems? Artemis, we need to talk separately so I can find out what's going on with you. I was in the 400s, so I was so afraid to go out here and help people with their issues because I was obese and I just couldn't. And it had nothing to do with me just stop eating. It had a lot to do with me learning about myself, my emotions. Why am I eating like this? Why am I abusing myself like this? And I went on a journey. I went on a journey with me and God, and I did a lot of water fasting, a lot of soul searching. And there was a lot of things that God had to unearth in my life before I finally got to the point where I stopped abusing myself. And I still struggle every day, just like every addict does, when I'm around food. And every day is a new day for me. And it's probably for a lot of you. A lot of you probably can really relate to that. Every day is a new day. I can do so great one day and I could be on top of the world, and the next day something will happen emotionally and I am struggling so bad just to make sure I make proper food choices. So, that's some of the things we're going to be working on in 2019. I promise you, because I am going to make sure that people that are, suffering and struggling in the things that I struggled with, I'm going to help. I really believe that's all of our callings, is to get over whatever obstacles we have in our lives and then go back and help other people get over the same obstacles. So that is something I'm definitely going to be working with. And of course, it's in the works now. I have located a property that I am going to be doing a bed and breakfast for people to come and get detoxifications and healings and different things of that nature. So we're starting that up. I found a property, so we are kind of in the process of trying to see how much I can get it for, and and the cost of renovating it to what I want it to be, so we're in that phase. So that's really exciting because a lot of you really want to be able to isolate yourselves and go somewhere for a week or two or a month or so. It's going to be a program where people can come as long as they need to. It's definitely not going to be free. I'm just being honest. It's not going to be free. I wish it could be. The room and board probably, would be much cheaper because I'm going to own it. I'm not financing. So the room and board probably is going to be dirt cheap. But, all of my services are dirt cheap anyway. I don't overcharge people. But I definitely want to make sure that you guys are able to, go for a weekend and say, oh, I know, Samara. Honestly, my assistant is down in Florida as well. And that's the same thing she said to me. She seriously is down there looking for land because she was like, it's perfect down here. The weather is beautiful. And they got the springs and stuff down here. So she is seriously looking for me land down there so I can put one. My long-term goal, I should be telling y'all about business, but seriously, my long-term goal is I'm going to have four bed and breakfasts, and I'm going to have them strategically placed in the country. So of course I'm going to have one in Michigan because that's where I'm from. My goal was to do one in Florida, and then do one on the West Coast, and probably do one around where New York is. Eventually I'm coming to Florida. I don't know what year. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Diddy is not sponsoring this stuff. And honestly, I refuse to finance things. I don't finance any projects. I come up with the money myself. So you can grow so many herbs and food. And yes, I know, Tim, I know. So I am actually, I self-finance. So it takes time. You have to plan, you have to get pricing, then you have to save up money. So, some things take time, but it's in the works. It's in the works. I just don't know when. Trust me. Florida is on my radar. My assistant has pushed it in my head enough. It's on the radar, I promise. But Michigan is going to be the first one because that's where I'm from. Michigan is my baby. This is where my alkaline vegan restaurant is going to be, and my produce store. And we are looking now. We're looking for land because we decided that we are going to start growing some of our herbs here. I have my own growers out of Mexico that grow a lot of herbs, but I want something here too. We're going to be doing cannabis so that we can start doing the CBD oil ourselves. The price of CBD oil is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so we decided we were going to just do it ourselves. So we're going to grow CBD and make the oil ourselves. And we're going to grow certain herbs. I am definitely going to have a field of elderberries. I just, because elderberries come up short every year this time and it's annoying. So I said, I'm just going to grow my own. Seriously. So I'm going to have a couple of acres of elderberry by itself. I just can't do it anymore. So those are some of the things that we're planning at Reflections Healing and we're working on. But the bed and breakfast, I had to do it. I had to, because I got so many people was like, I wish I could just come where you are and, just, have you take care of me. And so I thought about it and I said, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. And that's part of me working with morbidly obese people too. I'm going to have them come, and stay there for a few months at the bed and breakfast. And we're going to help them get back on track and get that weight off of them, help them start dealing with their issues of why they're abusing themselves and get them back on track, because it's time. It's time. It's time to help people out here. People are really sick. And this country, unfortunately, is so burdened down with poor nutrition and health issues. And I'm just really sick and tired of seeing people dying of cancer. I'm serious. I'm sick of seeing people that has diabetes. I'm just sick of it. And I spent 20 years supervising in the pharmacy, and when I say I got so tired of seeing people getting 15 and 20 medications, and I'm thinking in my head, like, how in the world are you taking all of these meds, every month? And, eventually your kidneys give out because all of those medications are just tearing up your kidneys, and I just feel so bad for people, because a lot of people don't have any other options but to go to the doctors and take all these medicines because they don't know nothing else. What are they going to do? Your doctor tells you, well, you need to take 20 meds to live, to survive, and you don't know anything else. Nobody's out here telling people about, health, nutrition, emotional balance. Nobody's telling people about it. There's a few voices crying out in the wilderness, but, as a whole, people are just quiet. People will come to me, get all the knowledge and things that they need to get healthy, and then don't tell a soul. I've seen too many people. I've dealt with people that were head of churches, and for the life of me, I'm still trying to figure out, how are you a head of a church? You're getting healthy, you're coming to me, and then you're not even sharing the knowledge with your congregation. And that to me is heartbreaking. This should be a group thing. Your congregation is your family. You should be telling your congregation about their eating habits and how to get themselves healthy. And yes, I believe that Jesus is our healer. I believe in the Bible. But I also believe there are parts of the Bible that talks about proper eating habits and possessing our temples correctly as well. So let's cut the crap. Talk to somebody that don't know the Bible. Let's cut the crap, because I'm not going for it. So, Skyla, I was wondering where you guys were. I was waiting for it to pop up. I was like, where y'all at? So, oh my gosh, knowledge is power. Yes. And we can't be, gluttonous with it and don't want to share it. And it kind of sickens me how many people want to exploit the knowledge. It's kind of the same way even in the church, isn't it? As the small few people know all of this stuff to liberate people, and they don't want to share it because they want to exploit it and seem like they're special. But it's not about that. It's not about that at all. There are some things that I don't share publicly because I want people, I want to share certain things, especially in herbalism, with people that I know that are going to help and heal people, not exploit them. So I purposely don't share things public. A lot of people email me and say, "Why don't you put the names of your herbs on your website so we'll know what herbs come in what package?" Because you're not replicating my work. That's why. Thank you. Because so I've seen so many just underhanded people. They will go on Dr. CB's website, get the ingredients to a package, then turn around and sell it. What kind of foolishness is that? Why are you not paying this man for them herbs when that was his knowledge to put them packages together? And then you wonder why you won't get no blessing. You can't go around stealing people's ideas and think that you're going to get blessed from it. I wasn't even supposed to be going here, but I had to. And it's the truth. And it's not about I can't afford to be buying that package. You're going to have to buy the herbs from somebody. You're not about to get them herbs for free. You ain't about to go dig them about your yard. So why not pay the person that actually had the knowledge and the concern to put the thing together? There's no honor in that. And I'm being honest. And that's why when people come to me, ask me, can I replicate Dr. CB's product? Sure cannot. There is no honor in stealing someone else's work. In the college sector, they call that plagiarism, and you get an automatic failure, just so you know. That is not acceptable, and it is a corrupt and immoral disease within someone to do stuff like that. We need to stop being so underhanded with each other. Absolutely, Tim. I'm serious. We need to stop being so underhanded because it's not cute. And I understand, everybody's out here trying to make money, but if you have to go steal somebody else's work, this is not what you're called to do. I'm just keeping it real. And why don't you seek God for what you were created for? Because where you were created to, what the things you were created to do, you will have gifting for them, and it will make you money. Everybody ain't called to be a herbalist, Thank you. Everybody is not called to be a healer. There are people called apostles of healing, and those are the people that have the giftings for it. And they are not here. I'm not here, and I know a few people that really are apostles of healing, and they're not here to exploit anyone. And they are deserving of their wage, but they're not here to exploit. And and quiet as it's kept, I don't know why I'm going here. Somebody really on this thing is watching must really need to hear this, because a lot of times you're just full of crap anyway, talking about you can't afford it. Your priorities are out of order because you've been spending an excessive amount of money on stupid stuff that really doesn't matter, like a $500 hair weave, $250 gym shoes, a $350, $400 purse, Michael Kors purse. Why don't you stop trying to be a designer person, and why don't you worry about your health? That Michael Kors purse could have been your therapeutic package from Dr. CB Cell Food. I'm just keeping it real. You do have hair. You don't have to buy hair. I'm just keeping it real. Because if you say that you cannot afford, thank you, Denise. But seriously, if you say that you can't afford to buy some herbs from somebody, then you shouldn't be out here buying hair, buying nails, buying designer clothes. What's more important? Is your health more important, or is it you trying to stunt to make people think that you somebody? Everybody know you broke. Because rich people ain't flashy. Rich people ain't flashy. I have a lot of rich friends because I don't hang around broke people, because I got that revelation a long time ago that you're supposed to hang around people that's going to bring you up, make you better, and push you. So I stopped hanging around people that's broke and people that don't have no vision. And when I tell you that all of my super rich friends, when we go out places, I don't see a Michael Kors person in sight. I don't see a hair weave. I barely see them with their nails done. I'm serious. I barely see it. This hairstyle right here is probably the most you gonna see. And they don't even have on designer jeans. These women, I'm talking about these women. I have some friends that are heads of Chrysler GM. I have friends that are top lawyers, partners in their companies. I have friends that are doctors, top doctors. And I'm talking about these people have salaries over $1 million. And they don't even carry a designer purse. I'm talking about people that go to the Lexus dealership and buy their vehicles in cash, you know, and don't even wear designer jeans. They go to Payless to get some shoes. So I think that maybe if you spent a little more time concerning yourself with your health instead of concerning yourself with looking like you got it all together for people, you would get liberated. You would increase your cash flow, and you would have money for those herbs. You know, I've heard a lot of people with a lot of excuses, I'm trying to tell you, and people say, oh, you just mean, you don't have any sympathy. I have a lot of sympathy for people, but I know when I'm being shoveled horse guts too. Yes, I do. I know when I hear bull crap. I call crap on that one, you know. So anywho, I don't know who that was for, but that was for someone. Just receive it. That's all I can say is just receive it. But in all seriousness, hey Tawanda. In all seriousness, if you are a person that was taking or has taken apple cider vinegar, please stop taking it. It's not beneficial for your body. It actually is creating far more problems than it is helping. So please, 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 please stop taking it. And if you don't believe, I don't know why you wouldn't, all the information I gave you here at the beginning of the video, you are more than welcome to go on Google and look it up. Google is a beautiful World Wide Web that has a lot of knowledge, and you will find all that stuff on the World Wide Web. It's very true. And once you find it on the World Wide Web, then I would advise you to finally get out of your ego and admit that you don't know as much as you think you do, and then go ahead and stop using that before you kill yourself. I wish you guys so much well. I'm serious. I just want you guys to have the abundance of health that I have been blessed with in my life. I am so blessed. I am so I'm just so healthy. I'm so happy, you know. And this is coming from a person that used to be chronically sick. I love, you know what, Sharonda Hines, I absolutely love when people give me that backwards, stupid comment. And as what Sharonda's talking about, she said when she talks about people telling them about their health, they say stupid stuff like they not dead yet, or they gotta die from something, or, you know, I cannot stand when people want to be funny and say that type of stuff. So you know what I started doing, people? I had someone tell me, well, you gotta die from something. So I seriously sat down and I explained the degenerative process that happens with a person that dies from cancer, and how sick they are, and how their body just degenerates. And I said, is that how you want to go? And the person was really facetious, and they were being funny. And you know, the funny thing that ended up happening with this person, they got really sick. They went through a period they were really sick, and they actually committed to a healthy lifestyle after that, because they were like, there's no way I want to live like this. I said, yeah, I'm so glad that you just got a little smidgen taste, and you were able to reverse that thing really quick too. But I'm just so glad that you got a little taste and you got almost like you got slapped in your mouth by your body. Your body slapped you in the mouth and told you to shut up being stupid. And I was so glad because that person finally changed their healthy, their lifestyle, and they're much more healthier now, and I'm really excited for them. But it took that. And so I understand that some people are hard-headed, some people just want to be funny and be mockers. But that's my comeback now. I say, do you really understand what happens to somebody that dies from sickness and disease? And they'll usually be funny and try to say something here or there, but I go through the whole process. If they only tried the program, they would see a tremendous change. And that's very true. And I don't know why people are so apprehensive. I can only say that some people might be scared of change. I have met a lot of people that were scared of change, and then there are some people that simply don't receive. I have met a lot of African Americans that just do not receive from other African Americans. And I know that sounds really strange, but it's true. Some people are simply conditioned that they don't think an African American can have enough intelligence to advise them. And I have met those people too that are shocked. They're like, you actually went to college? You're a biochemist? I have had that, like, you're a biochemist? And I look like, huh? And how about when you say that certain foods are bad for them, for example, soy meat, and they say to you, what are you going to eat, air or grass? Yeah, they're being funny. They're being funny. And I think it is a form of people, sometimes I know when I minister to people, right? And sometimes when people don't really have a good pushback and they know that they should be doing right and they're not, and what they do is they try to piss you off to back you off of them because you're making them feel in condemnation. And so I've learned how to control my emotions with people so that they won't be able to piss me off. Because what happens when somebody does that type of pushback, they're trying to get you off their back. Okay? And a lot of times they're just too much of a coward to say, you know what, I'm afraid of change, and I don't appreciate you saying this stuff to me because you're making me feel bad about my actions. That's what it is. You guys got to get control of your emotions, because why don't you start preparing for those type of pushbacks? Prepare for them. Start making up scenarios in your head and prepare for what you're going to say when somebody says, when you're trying to talk to them, somebody just cut you off, say, well, you got to die from something. You prepare you a pushback. You prepare a pushback for them. When people say, what are you going to eat, air or grass? You push back from that. You teach yourself how to do pushbacks, to deal with people. Okay? You have to learn how to deal with people that are offering you adversity. And you have to be able to get their negative vibrations and catch them. You don't want to absorb their negative vibration. Okay? In all seriousness, because what that does is that brings that negativity and that sickness in you. So you have to learn how to catch it and then kind of ball it up and push it back at them. And it's a very interesting thing for you to learn, but you have to learn this. I had to learn it for when I went out. I used to go out street ministry. So I used to just walk up to random people as part of my church initiative when I was studying to be a minister. We used to just go out. It was called SWAT team, so when an attack team, and we used to just go out in the streets and we just walk up to people and we just kick it. We just kick it, preaching the gospel to them. And so you had to be prepared because you didn't know what was gonna come out that person's mouth. And I was just one of them ones. Then people would say something rude to try to get you out their face, and I'm right there because you can't make me mad. You do not have the power over me. So I used to just sit there and smile when they say something rude, and then I keep talking. It's whatever. We're going to talk. And so a lot of times, those were the people that end up being my biggest wins so to speak, because they were like, I cannot get you out of your zone. Yes. So, well, you know what? I think it's good when you first come into this lifestyle to kind of isolate yourself, to kind of get yourself prepared. But Samara, you have to get to a point where you come out of isolation and you are strong enough to battle people that are ignorant, seriously, or people that are coming at you. You have to start practicing that. We have to stop being afraid of confrontation. Okay? Yes. Yes. And that's okay. We all need to learn stuff. We have to stop being afraid of confrontation. People are always going to be confrontational. We all have something in our head that somebody in this country would be pissed off about. I know I have a lot of things because I have some very conservative views. So I have to be able to back myself up. Trust me when I say I have some very conservative views on life. So, when I'm in different circles, so I have to always make sure that I am able to hold my ground, especially talking to people that are, have totally different views than me. Especially in the area of women, feminism, and abortion and stuff. Oh my gosh. That's for another day though. Yeah, you do. And Samara, you have to stop being afraid of confrontation. It's inevitable, and it does not make you a bad person to stand your ground. Okay? And it actually will serve you a very good purpose in the long run, because people are watching you. People are watching you, and they're watching your reactions. They're watching what you're going to do. They're watching, are you going to back down? If you really are convicted that this lifestyle is beneficial and that it will save lives, you need to get aggressive. Okay? Stop taking the stance that, well, I don't know if this lifestyle is proper or not, so I'm not going to be rude and push this on people. No, I be up in people's face. Every family function, I be following my family around. Why do you have that on your plate with your chronic condition? You need to put that stuff back. They already know. They tried to hurry up and get it in before I get there, because they already know I'm coming with both barrels blazing. I have no problem. I could care less about anybody's attitude. That's just me. But anyway, y'all got me over here talking. Lord have mercy. Y'all got me talking. Oh, okay. So did anybody have any questions about anything before we go? Because y'all done got me really talking off subject today. Anybody have any questions? Oh, thank you. I know it's a lot I'm going to learn from you too. I learn something from every single person that I meet, and I am so grateful. I have such a grateful spirit. The Bible says you are to be thankful. It says, be ye thankful. And I am so thankful for everybody that comes into my life. I have no ungratefulness. I think ungratefulness is a spirit that will make you sick. Just like bitterness and anger. So I am so grateful for every single one of you guys. You guys are all a blessing to me. You are. And I'm humbled. I'm humbled. Seriously, I love interacting with all of you. All of you have something to offer me, and I'm just grateful for it. And so I feel like it's an exchange. I really do. Okay, Sharonda, you're going to be contacting me. Awesome. Well, I look forward to talking to you. So, do we have any other questions? No questions? So the video is going to be available. So make sure you guys share the video so that other people can see this education. Make sure you share it on your page. And make sure when you share it, just to let people know that I do consultations for chronic conditions, because I always forget that. I see so many people right on there, oh, she got so much information, but how do I know what to do, and blah, blah, blah. So I do consults and help people with their chronic conditions at reflectionshealing.com. So that is my website. And it has actually bulk herbs on there. It has I have over 100. I think I have like 110 herbs on the website. I carry almost about 200. It's just slow. I haven't added all of them to the website, and most of them I have grown myself. That's what I love. I love is that when I do something, I do it wholeheartedly. And I really felt there was a need for a pure herb that did not have any pesticides, that we knew where it came from, and we knew what was on it and what it was grown in. So I decided to contract with some growers and get that popping. I used my little term, popping. I got that popping. So a lot of the herbs are grown myself, like the sarsaparilla root. That sarsaparilla root is solid. Okay, everybody that gets my sarsaparilla root is like, your sarsaparilla root is so strong. It is very strong. And I grow Damiana. My Damiana is strong. The mullein leaf that pulls the mucus. I grow the mullein flower. So there's a flower part to the mullein, and I grow the flower. The flower cuts mucus way better than the leaf, in my opinion. Everybody that's taking the mullein flower, it's like, this stuff works way better. I know. The mullein flower is stronger than the leaf part, and so it cuts the mucus faster. I grow that. What else do I grow? I grow so much stuff. Right, Progiosa. Yep, I grow Progiosa. And make sure you keep it coming. Sapo, Santa Maria. What else? I have a supplier for the burdock and the dandelion. I'm not growing that yet. I think I'm gonna put that on the land that I buy up here. So I have a supplier for that. My supplier for my elderberries, they always run out of stock this time of year, which is why I'm gonna be growing my own. I get so many herbs from Mexico. I don't even remember all of them anymore. Send that for me next. Okay, Denise, I don't know which herb you're talking about. I done named like 10. Yellow dock. Oh, and I have suppliers for the bladderwhack. I get bladderwhack so much. Bladderwhack and kelp. And I got 2 suppliers for the Irish sea moss. So I get, I'm able to get a lot of the herbs that are quality, that are pesticide free. I don't too much get into the organic. I like wild grown herbs more than I like organic, because organic herbs still have pesticides on them. I know you guys didn't know that, but yeah, they still have pesticides on them. So I'd rather get it wild crafted, because wild crafted means it's just growing in nature. And a lot of times those don't have the pesticides on them, because no one is actually farming those per se. They're just letting them wild grow. And so they usually are pesticide free. The only thing about tioncinate, that goes by another name. I gotta look up and see what other name it is, because I've seen that name before. So that's why I like the wildcrafted ones. Troy, I am in Michigan, about 45 minutes from Detroit. I gotta look and see. That is under another name, and I can't remember what it is right now. So I'll look that up in a moment. So, yep, check out the website, everybody. Reflectionshealing.com. I have a boatload of herbs on there if you are in need of herbage. And I make deodorant and toothpaste and hair oils. I infuse all of those with herbs as well. Hair oil. I make I actually have a herb that is for the skin. You boil the herb and you apply the tea to your skin, and it clears your skin up really well. So I have that as well. That is about it. Hey. All right, so if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to check out now, because my inbox is ringing off the hook. But I will probably be joining you. The weekdays are kind of harder for me because I homeschool. So I probably, if I come back on here, it probably won't be till Wednesday. But don't forget to share this with your family and friends, because we want to spread knowledge and make sure that we are bringing people in. And, they may not receive it at first. So, them seeing this video might be what they need. Might be what they need to watch it first. And sometimes you have to plant a few seeds before somebody's ready to actually get mentally prepared, because this changing over to this lifestyle is a mental thing. So sometimes it does take a while. Okay, so don't get mad at your relatives and your loved ones if you present this lifestyle to them and they be like, nope, because it took me a long time to convert, and I'm sure other people will have the same challenges as well. You have to get mentally ready for this. So just, share as many nuggets as you can with them and be supportive, and they'll come around. They'll come around. Just keep putting this in their face. Okay. All right. So anybody needs to reach me, you know how to inbox me and let me know if you are having any issues that you need some direction with. Other than that, you guys have an awesome, fantastic, super evening, and get ready for Monday. Talk to you guys soon.